Hello, everybody, and welcome to Valiant Victories with Benny Decker. Yeah, it's the resurgence of Valiant Victories. Yeah, it's been a little while. I missed you guys, but I won't bore you with what I've been up to because we've got something very important and special to talk about. I was able to weasel a digital copy of Resurgence of the Valiant Universe issue number one. I read it. I read it twice. I've thought about it. I've written notes and everything. Ooh, ooh. And I'm going to share some of my thoughts about the issue with you. So there we go. Before we get started, though, let me make sure. I want to make sure I don't forget the important details. This is, if you're watching it today, today is Sunday, August 18th, and the final order cutoff for this issue is tomorrow. Yes, so Monday, the August 19th. So if you're watching this and it is not past the cutoff yet, please, 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 please pre-order your books. You really, really should have. And if you haven't, why not? Oh, you should. It helps. First of all, it helps you to make sure you get your book. It helps your shop so they know how much to order, and it helps the publisher so that they know how many to print, all that stuff. So really, please, please, don't just assume, well, yeah, it'll be there. Like, order your books, talk to your shop, make sure they know, make sure you order it. So there we go. And the issue itself will be dropping 1 month, from today, September the 18th. So there we go. So we're getting ready for that. I got notes, I got a phone, I got a tablet, I got everything. Of course, I didn't put everything into the same spot. That would have been good. But before we get into talking about the issue, I'll share the credits here. So the script for the issue is going to be by Becky Cloonan, Michael W. Conrad, Fred Van Lente, and A.J. Ampadu. I'm going to go with that. I tried to figure out how to pronounce it, but I don't know yet. So I'm going to assume. There's some other names that I'm going to try my best at too. Let's see. So art is by Guillermo Fajardo and Julio Azamor. And the colors by Lautaro Fatuli. Flats by Ludwig Alimba. And letters by Ezekiel Inverni. And then the covers by Guillermo Fajardo. Variant color covers by Agustin Alicio. Juan Jose Reed, yeah, and Miko Suyan, yeah. So I should have added yeah to everybody, but I was just extra excited about Juan Jose Reed and Miko Suyan because they are some of the founding artists of the 2012 reboot. So having them come back is extra exciting. But all of the artists are fantastic, and you cannot go wrong with any of those covers. And then the editor would be Lisa Hawkins, yeah, editor-in-chief. And very important also, Mateus Tamarchi, who is the director of Alien Books. So he is involved. It's not just a matter of, let Lisa do her thing. Like, he cares. He's involved. Like, that's what we need. There are, other chairmen that were maybe not as involved. Maybe that was a good thing. I don't know. All right, well, we're gonna stay positive. So I'm excited to see that he is involved in taking some ownership of this story. So here we go. All right, that was diplomatic enough, I hope. All right, so here we go. So my thoughts. I wrote down some thoughts. All right. So first of all, I think I can give you like a broad, general overview of what the setup is, the story of it. So we know just from the road to Resurgence that Dr. Silk, he is involved. He has figured out a way to conquer death. He's figured out a way that people will not die. But coming with it, there are portals that are opening up into like the faraway, and there were earthquakes and sinkholes, and so the natural world is feeling the ramifications of this shift. So could be, is it good? Is it bad? Well, and that's an interesting first thought. So on the inside cover, there is a roster of the characters. I won't go into who is on what side, but there are actually 3 sides. So there was Dr. Silk's side. So is it that the bad side? Ooh, or is it a good side? I don't know. There's a Ivar side, the good side, or is it? And a neutral side. Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting that it's not just, oh, here's the bad guys and here's the good guys. It's like, oh no, there's some characters sort of in the middle, which is an interesting concept there. There were in that roster, there were unfortunately a couple of minor spoilers to the story. There's one character who is listed who sort of switches sides, and it's like, oh, okay, so that it was a little surprise that could have been cool, but it was within the first few pages. And then there's another character who I thought like, oh, I thought they were gone maybe, and then they show up. And so it's again, their reintroduction could have been, there they are, but instead it was like, oh yeah, I saw them on the roster. So a couple of very minor little spoils in the, if you read that, but it's really within the first maybe 5-6 pages anyway. So not a gigantic thing to have spoiled, but it would have been neat if it hadn't been. So there we go. There were I believe 2 editor's notes, which is great because this whole thing is the continuity, everything from the road to Resurgence has led up to this. But it wasn't, every page wasn't, oh yeah, and then see this, see the Punk Mambo Punk Witch project for this, and then oh yeah, you didn't read that, so then it wasn't like wagging its finger like, well, if you would have read that, you would have known. But it was just a couple of little nudges to get people if they were curious, to get them caught up. But honestly, the whole thing, it sounds weird to say it. You honestly could go into this blind and not ever having read Valiant before, and you pick it up. There is, on the inside covers, there's a breakdown of the characters, a little blurb about everybody. So between that and those couple little editor's notes, it would be new reader friendly. However, if you have been reading Road to Resurgence, you can see where everything is plugged in, where it's all stacking up. It's so nice. So yes, or if you're somebody who read Valiant for a while and dropped off, like you could pick this right up, and you wouldn't be like, oh wait, who's this now and who's that, and like everybody makes sense. Their characters are fleshed out. It's great. There's character moments. Their voices are really good. I was going to get into that with the writing, but like you can tell very quickly, like Faith's dialogue. You can tell who she is. My favorite line from the book, it was a line that Galad said to Tom, talking about another character, and he goes, "Yeah, a man of few words, and none of them useful." So I don't know, something like that, and I read it and laughed out loud because I don't know, it just that seemed like that was really who Galad was, and really all of the characters. It's not their voices come through in the dialogue. So between the little blurbs at the beginning, the dialogue that is presented, you could come into this without really knowing who the characters are and get a very good idea of who they were very quickly. And shockingly, with this, there are a ton of characters. I didn't count how many characters are involved, but there's a bunch of heroes and villains that we already knew about. But then the story introduces a couple of new characters as well. But like the best way to describe it is, it seems like they're spinning plates in a good way. Like, if you ever see, they set it up and they're getting all the stuff. This was a very heavy lift, this issue. Just introducing all these characters, their points of view, which sides they're on, what's going on, who's involved. It's a lot of work, and it's done really well. It feels like every page, every panel, everything was there for a reason. You wouldn't really want to cut anything out. No, there was no filler. It was just boom, 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 boom. Like it's a it's a meaty read. I think there was like either 31, 32 pages, so it is an expanded page count, and I believe that the cover price is still $4.99. So you're getting really good bang for your buck, art and story wise. So there we go. So I'll get into the some of the other details that I liked. The whole concept is that death has been conquered, and it's Sunday. I just came from church. I am a Christian, a believer, and I was wondering if like faith in any religion or anything would be taken into account, since conquering death seems like a pretty big concept that would be religious in nature. There was one character in the story who does quote Timothy 4:1, but so it is minorly touched upon, but this is definitely not a book that's trying to preach at anybody or convert anybody, but it does present the religious concept of death and some of that. So again, like this is not something where if you are somebody who's not a believer, it's not going to try, oh, this is it's not trying to convert anybody, but it does pay respect to a religious point of view at least. So presenting it, so I really appreciated that. It was great. Oh, let me see. Towards the end, there is a character who is not seen, but is referenced, which a character we haven't seen in a while, and I was very excited to have them included. Ooh, that was good. Ooh, hopefully we'll see them soon. There's, what I think it's safe to say that we knew that Shadow Man was going to be in this. I think he was on the B cover. Just continuity-wise, visual continuity. It seems like Shadow Man has gone back to the 2012 look. There you go. Oh, something closer to that. Oh, there you go. He's got like the little Shadow Man logo on his on his breast pocket area. He's got like the actual physical, the human nose with just like the black triangles on it. So it's a good look. I like it, but the look has been very different in recent years. Like in the last series, I think he had like kind of the brown coat and like in a missing nose. So not a bad thing, just like visual continuity. It was like, oh, I guess we're going back to that, which is fine by me, but just something I noticed. Yeah. Oh, the art. So I did mention there are two different artists, and their styles are they're not exactly the same. I think if you didn't know that there were two artists, you might read through and not even really catch it. Like it's definitely not jarring. The art styles go very well together. So yeah, really, it's the art for all of the Road to Resurgence books has been really great, but you can tell that they must have really poured extra love and time and effort into it. This art is really great. It's great. All right, the writing. So I got into about the dialogue. Yes, all the characters have their character voices. It comes through very well. You wouldn't like switch out characters. Who is speaking goes with what they are saying very well. There we go. And yeah, I mentioned about there's just so much going on. There's so many characters, but yet they are all getting these character moments. There's so much to set up, but it feels like you're in it. It's not just a bunch of exposition. Like you get the information through what is said and some of the background stuff, but it's not sitting you down and kind of talking down to Dr. Silk, he is this guy who does this and that. Like you get it through what's happening and through the background information at the beginning. It doesn't waste any time, It gets right to it. And with the writers, it's like the tent poles of the road to Resurgence. They didn't just, bring in somebody else to write this event. They brought in the writers who are really building up this event. You get Fred Van Lente, who was there for 2012, Archer and Armstrong, and Ivar. Ivar is such a big part of this. Like, we're getting somebody who really has invested a lot in that character. Becky Cloonan, Michael W. Conrad, they've been tackling EXO and doing a really great job with that. I remember there was an interview or something I read about how they were doing a lot of research, getting the like Novus Romanus stuff. They aren't just like walking off the street and we'll just write and do whatever. Like, they're putting a lot of effort and thought into how they work with the character. So that's fantastic. And then AJ Ampadu. I'm going to go with Ampadu. He's been working with Ninjak versus Roku, which has been excellent. He's going to be working with Shadow Man coming up too. He's a newer talent to Valiant, but there was an interview, I think it was on YouTube, and he was talking about the characters, and like, he knows his stuff. He seems like if he wasn't a fan, like, he became a fan very quick. He knows his stuff. He cares about the continuity, and his work has really been great too. And I'm really excited that he is involved too. So we have these like 4 pillars here propping this whole thing up. It's great, and I don't know how you'd pull it off, except I do know how you'd pull it off. It's because of the editor-in-chief, Lisa Hawkins. Yeah. So she's like Captain Continuity. She knows her stuff. She knows where everybody is, what's going on. She cares and is leading and guiding everybody on the same page. This is a love letter to the fans, to the continuity. We're not changing anybody or any situation to fit into this event. It's all been leading right up to it. It is, again, if you're somebody that has fallen away from Valiant, this is the time to come back. You could give this to a new reader, or if you read it the whole time, you're going to just be doing backflips. It's so good. It's so good. Valiant really cares about events. It's been a few years since we've had a really good event, and really in the grand scheme of events, sometimes there was a little bit of connection, but man, you could tell just from the road to Resurgence that every book has been leading up to this. This is something where they've alluded to the fact that it's really, this event is going to drastically affect the entire line going forward. This is not something to miss. This is the perfect time to get in and get invested, because there's some big things that are going to happen. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be great. Ooh. All right. One minor spoiler that I think I can talk about, because it was like in the press release, it was put on at least the Valiant X account. There was the resurrection of a character. If you don't want to know about it, you can skip ahead 30 seconds. I'll just talk about it very briefly. So ready? So skip it now. Ready? We'll go ahead, skip. And I'll talk about it in 3, 2, 1. All right. So Charlene Dupree, Flamingo, is resurrected. And I could see how some people might be upset. Dead means dead in Valiant. And yes, that is true. But I think this wasn't just pulled out of wherever. It makes sense why she was brought back, and I think that I personally am very excited, because it seems like at least the Harbinger team has sort of fallen apart-ish, and maybe this could be a way to bring them back together. I don't know. I won't speculate. However, I will say personally, I think it's fantastic. Again, with spoilers, it seems like that could have been a really cool thing to like, wow, shit, wow! But we had it spoiled. So I'm not somebody who is bothered terribly by spoilers. Like, I didn't see the new Wolverine Deadpool movie. I know everything that happened. I saw the spoilers. And I can still enjoy the movie eventually if I do see it. So not a huge deal to me, but it could have been really cool to find that out on September 18th, flipping through and reading it. So there's that. So definitely none of these things that were spoiled ruined the experience. There is so much more in this book and so much to enjoy. Like, it's just like, it could have taken it from, 9.9 to a 9.99, something like that. All right, so I think I got through most of my notes. The only thing I was going to say. So with the Road to Resurgence, this entire thing seems a lot like if you were around for the MCU when it first started, how you'd have, the Captain America movie, and then you'd have Iron Man, you'd have all these movies, and they were good on their own, and then you got to the first Avengers movie, and then it was like, how are they going to do it? How are they going to bring everybody together? They can't do it. And then they did it, and it was amazing. And that's what this is. This is like phase 1 MCU kind of thing, where all of these books were really great on their own and led up to this event. And at least for the first issue, they're knocking it out of the park. This is really exciting. It's a really great time to read it, dig in. Oh, it's good. It's fantastic. So I don't want to. I oversell everything. I think it's great, but seriously, I can't imagine how it could be better. I was excited to check it out already, but now that I've got a taste, I need some more. So the only problem now is, now that I've read the first issue, I have to wait until October to read the second issue now. So now, oh no, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. All right, so there we go. So honestly, can't recommend it any more highly. If you are a current fan, if you're a new fan, if you are a wayward, lapsed fan, now's the time. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. All right. The only other thing to mention, there was a little shakeup at Alien Books. Our dear friend, she hates to be mentioned on videos, but I have to anyway. Danny Ward, she unfortunately has left Alien Books to pursue another opportunity. So congratulations to Danny, and congratulations to Manny Castellanos, who will be taking over. Hopefully, Manny, you've gotten the email about me. The warning about that, but no. Anyway, Danny has been a blessing to the Valiant fan community. She stuck through during some rough times in the fandom, and really, this resurgence, I feel like, couldn't have been possible without some of her really hard work and dedication. So thank you for everything that you've done, Danny, and congratulations to Manny. We're an interesting bunch, but you will get to know us definitely, and hopefully love us. So there we go. All right. So in summation, check out Road to Resurgence. It's not too late to talk to your shop to pre-order it. And otherwise, you know what to do. You know that. Drop that. Stay valiant, everybody. I love you, and get the road, get the resurgence, get it. Right? All right, bye, everybody. Bye.